In the last video, I wanted to keep the focus on the mythic hunts and raids that are coming in the future. It was a shorter than anticipated video, but I thought you might have appreciated the quick info. This video will be about the ecosystem and everything else talked about in the end of the year dev stream. First off, if you hadn't noticed, the loss in publisher shook things up a bit and plans were moved around some. While before free-to-play was supposed to be in the first half of the year, it has now been pushed back. The plan is for it to release in 2024 though. Raids coming sooner was also part of that shakeup. Housing isn't as much of a priority as it was before because the community isn't as excited about it as other things like raids. This doesn't mean that they stopped working on housing, and it could give them a chance to release a more feature-complete housing system than the stages it might have been released in before. They are also still going to be upgrading to Unreal Engine 5 and still working on native compatibility for the Steam Deck. You can currently play it on your Steam Deck now, but it is not native compatible. They talked a little bit about the next open area that everyone is waiting for, Frostmarch, and from the information we got, it will be a hub area with the open world zone being much bigger than the Highlands, with level 30 events happening in the zone. For the ecosystem, the current Echo menu is going to change into a catalog system. That kind of makes me think of like a Pokedex. Steve compared it to a sticker book. What's going to happen is once we pick up an Echo, it'll go into the Echo book, and from there we will be able to raise its level and rank up its quality if needed. The idea is that there are going to be many Echoes in the game, as every new enemy added will have an Echo. So this system will be more manageable on player inventory and hopefully improve system performance, as it won't be loading in a million Echoes from one player. The other side of this new system is that we will only be able to equip one of each Echo. They find that the current meta of Echo stacking is a little boring, and they want the work they put into the new Echoes to get some love as well. This should make for a more interesting build diversity in the game, and with harder content coming, I'm curious to see how this shakes things up. So what will happen with all the extra Echoes? After we pick up the first Echo, the extra Echoes of that type will automatically get dusted, and we can use that dust to rank up the Echo. We will also be able to push it to the next quality tier if that rank is maxed out. Higher quality Echoes will automatically replace lower quality Echoes, so like if we have a common Echo and we pick up an epic version of that Echo, the epic Echo will replace the common one in our catalog. Another part of the Echo change is that ranking up Echoes will no longer increase its capacity cost, so we won't have to worry about overloading our Echo slots, and if we want to change out an Echo, we are essentially stuck until we get another one of that quality. This newer system is similar to some thoughts the community has tossed around in the Discord. I know the mod Sorrow creates a list of a lot of the community feedback to give to the devs, so they are paying attention. For weapons, there will be new weapon types and new subclasses for Twin Strikers and Sword and Shield. I can picture like chakrams as a weapon type for Twin Strikers, but I'm not sure what would be in the Sword and Shield category. Maybe a Tower Shield, a Gun and Shield? What do you guys think? Let me know. Mounts will also be coming in 2024. We get a glimpse of how mounts will move in the latest preview video that they dropped, which I'll get into a little bit later. They were told to make mounts work similar to Elden Ring. I'm guessing movement and how quick we are able to mount it is what they were talking about. Maybe we will be able to call our mount while running. That's always cool. There isn't mounted combat though. When we do an attack while mounted, it'll be similar to doing a dash attack but at higher speeds. We will be slightly limited on where we can call our mounts at. We can't call them in lost zones and like inside buildings. And unfortunately, mounts won't be dyeable, but there will be a cosmetic item that's a saddle, and that will be dyeable. Speaking of cosmetic items, there are some new personas coming to the game. We can see a couple in the Eventide trailer. I'll try to show them here right now on the screen. There will also be new signature cosmetic slots for each of the Wayfinders. For Silo, it'll be the shoes, and for Nis, it'll be her belt. They haven't mentioned the other ones yet. Sinja and Kairos are also going to get some slight love and reworks done to them, some touch-ups. For Sinja, when she does the ability that pulls enemies to her, she will be able to follow that up with a counter punch. They didn't really say which abilities they were touching with Kairos, but it's not going to be a full rework like they did with Sinja. They're just going to touch on a couple of his abilities that aren't performing as well as they would like. There were various questions and answers as well that Sorrow was generous enough to put together, but real quick, we did get to see what I believe to be Grindo and another Wayfinder's idle animations, as well as what it's like to ride a horse in the Highlands. I'll have that playing up on the screen real quick, as it was part of the last short 2024 and beyond video that the team put out. Some of these answers in the AMA I may have touched on already, so just bear with me as I go over them. So the first question is going to be, is UE5 still happening? Yes, they talked to Epic. We'll have more news on that in 2024. Will we get ability and gameplay trailers for new Wayfinder soon? They do have Grindel ready to go, and they'll be sharing all of that stuff also in 2024. Any thoughts about adding a pity system for accessories and Echoes? They did talk about it. The intent is for players to have a reasonable amount of grinding and not just getting everything in 2 or 3 runs. However, pity mechanics are most certainly going to be looked into. anything about the Frost March expansion or new open world. And 2024 will have a lot of videos showing on that. You guys just talked about pushing back features. What about new lost zones and mounts? Will that be pushed back? Nope, that's one of the things that people want. We're still playing that for early 2024. Will echoes have other stats than what we currently have? Something like an attack speed, skill cooldown reduction, that kind of thing. And they said they want to do some of that too. Having secondary stats is something they want to have, and they're setting some groundwork for those stats, as the archetype trees will include some of that too. The question is, I found the story a bit boring and samey at first, so I ended up skipping a lot. Will you consider doing recaps or story replays, or will you go back to clean up the story? The answer is that we're going to be redoing a lot of that stuff for the intro and new user experience. The story is not going to change, but how we present it will. One of the things we heard is people don't like being locked into the dialogue, so we'll be looking into that. We'll be diving a bit more into the lore and streamlining it for players. Question, can we get a bigger house? Stay tuned, it's on the back burner, and we have to fix some crashes of varying levels of severity before the plushies can be placed on the bed. Question, can we get a corgi mount? No, our mount and most of the game is fun and cool, but we don't want to get wacky, but I don't think that's quite on brand for the game. Where are we with pets? Answer, the evolution of pets is that they're in your house, they will then move around inside the house, and the next step is that they'll move around with you in Skylight, and we'd like to get someplace in the future where they are running around with you in the Highlands. No timeline for this yet though. Question, where's the Lifesteal Rush Echo? Coming soon, maybe, possibly, no promises. I don't know what that is. It's not a bug, so of course Cam doesn't know. Question, heroic weapons. No, nothing we have planned right now. Question, if you could add any weapon to the game, what would you add? Answer, spears like a halberd. I don't know, a glaive would be cool, a big cloud strife-esque sword, or bows and fist weapons. Or just fists, are the different answers we got for that. Question, buff to long shot? And the answer is yeah, it's kind of We're looking at a few of the rifles like Hellstorm with its abilities. Also going to be reviewing Bloodsong to see if it's underperforming. Question, Diable visual effects for weapons and Wayfinders? We want to do it, it'll be super cool. Got nothing for it now, but maybe in the future. Question, will you add Sinja with longer hair? The answer is, speaking of my discussion with Bobe, that's on my list, and we're adding additional hairstyle options for Wayfinders. Will you be moving away from the rotating store? And the answer is yes. In early 2024, we will be moving towards a more catalog type store. There will be some limited time offers and things on rotation, but there will also be a lot of stuff accessible through a catalog. Wayfinder merch store win. With merch at the end of the day, we want it, and because we want it, it'll happen at some point when we're able to do it. Do you know how many times we've seen, can we get a plushie internally on this? The plans also include an art book, and we also know that the art for the vinyl is done, so there will be a soundtrack on vinyl for you enthusiasts. Question, will you ever ask top players to sign NDAs to bug test or balance test, or isn't that in the view? Answer, yes, soonish maybe. We've been talking about that. We want to get a PTR up eventually, and who's to say we're not doing some of that now? Question, will performance increase affect the accessory item limit? Answer, yes, there's a lot of revamping going on in regards to this. Question, how much did you all have to restrain Kitsune from continuing the Foxageddon? Answer, there is no stopping Kitsune on their Foxageddon crusade. Magical girl skins for the Wayfinder. Bruke says, Kitsune is my partner in crime on that. Xbox Switch versions, asking for a lot of people that keep asking me. Answer, yes, it's something in 2024 that we will be exploring additional consoles. We already announced Xbox, but we did not announce Switch. Question, Fox Finder, Dwarf Finder, or Fox Wayfinder, Dwarf Wayfinder? Answer, we've only seen a small portion of what Evanor has to offer. We have tons of awesome concepts of non-humanoids, humanoids. It'll be awesome. You'll see some of that stuff. Question, will we ever get a Summoner or Necromancer Wayfinder in the future? Answer, that has been discussed a lot. Question, are we going to get more archetypes? Nothing now, but that's something we think about all the time. Question, how would future heroic Wayfinders work? Would they come out with another Wayfinder, or would they come out alone? Answer, spoiler, we won't go into details now. It won't be going away, but it'll change, and we'll wait for that change to be official before we go into detail. Question, when is Grindel coming? Beginning of early 2024. Question, will we get an updated visual world map when you click M? Answer, it's something we want to do. We talk about it, but it's just not a priority. There's been talks internally about having a real world vision map also. And fishing, I'll make sure fishing it happens at some point. Fishing existed a long time ago in a really early state. And those are all the questions and answers for that, and that's pretty much all the information we got out of the dev stream. It was really a lot of good information in there, a lot of good seeing what their personalities were like and how they all interact with each other, which is pretty cool. You make sure you check that out. I have a link for it in the description. It was like a whole live stream. They do have it up on YouTube because they streamed on YouTube as well, I believe. So you can check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this one. Until next time, until 2024, enjoy your new year. Peace.